Oh, so it's changed in so many ways. I mean, for starters, it's a fragmentation, right? So it used to be the big corporates, the big brands that owned the world, you know, and there was very few indie brands. And now there's just so much choice. There's so many, there's a real democratization of beauty in so many actually different senses. But in a way, you know, anyone can start a beauty brand and they can market it through social media and they can have incredible success. And I mean, they probably will get bought out by one of the big guys eventually, you know, if they do reach a certain point. But then you look at brands like, you know, Trini, you know, who are huge, and I don't know if she's got plans to sell anytime soon, but there's these brands as well who are quite resolute in being, you know, self-owned and self-funded. So I think that's one aspect of it. I think social media has changed things like astonishingly, and also the last year and the last 2 years of the pandemic as well, us being so close and personal with our faces on Zoom and really examining. It's kind of like the new wave of skincare is kind of happening. Like I feel like, you know, we got really into makeup with the whole rise of the selfie, and then now it's like we're suddenly really aware of our skin, and being at home with, you know, you've got time to mask. So yeah, I mean, it goes in waves, doesn't it? There's still a huge appreciation for makeup, and I love the way, when I say democratization as well, the way it's for everybody now, you know, guys, and it's genderless, it's ageless, it's you know, all ethnicities. And I think that's a fantastic direction that we should be heading. And finally we're having these conversations, you know, around having colors for every skin color and all that kind of thing. So I think it's been a long awaited change that the beauty industry has needed to make, and yeah, it's finally happening.
One of the other things that, you know, I've always known and admired about you is that I think you were one of the early adopters of clean eating, you know, a clean lifestyle, organic. I remember you telling me about, you know, your routine of preparing food. I remember when you were making your own kombucha. I remember when you were doing all sorts of really quite dedicated things to take control of your own health narrative, your own, you know, that 360 approach to beauty. Tell me when that kind of came on your radar and why it came on your radar.
Yeah, look, I think it was when I was at Vogue, and so my job was, you know, beauty and health. So I was always trying to be aware of the latest things as they came. I was, after Max, I wasn't feeling very good in my body after having Max, sorry, my first child. So I you know, it took a while to sort of, like, none of my clothes fit and I just felt yuck. And I started training with trainer Ricardo Escala, and
who I know and
really
I've trained with as well.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And he really researches stuff. And I was always like, we'd have these sessions and he'd just have the latest Harvard study, and he'd know all about stuff. And he started talking about gut health way back before it was a thing. And he got me making my own kombucha and sauerkraut and even kefir and things like that. I've always been really interested in health, and you know, and when I figured out I could do stuff myself, I was kind of like really interested in that. I bought a dehydrator and I was making, like, you know, crisps that were raw, like all sorts of things. Having said that, now I've got 2 children. I don't have as much time as I used to, and probably not as dedicated. Although Max said to me the other day, he's like, "Mummy, can we make the kombucha again?" So, you know, he does like it. But yeah, no, there are, I find there's definitely much more of a movement now than it was then, but there's always new things.
Well, you've segued beautifully into my biohacking questions.
Oh, yes.
So we talked about, you know, diet, gut health, which again, I was like amazed. And you taught me a lot about, you know, investigating, you know, cleaner eating, less sugar, biofermented, good. But tell me about the other revitalization rituals that you have discovered and the ones that you think really play into that whole concept of, like, the best version of yourself, a vital, you know, sense of energy, clarity, and then ultimately beauty. Because, you know, a lot of this work is to reduce inflammation, to reduce cortisol, to reduce the aging, you know, the intrinsic aging process.
100%. Definitely meditation. So I've done probably 3 meditation courses now. and I learned Vedic meditation. So with Gary Goro, probably 10, yeah, it was around, I was pregnant with Max, so it must be about 10 years ago. And I've been doing it on and off. I stopped when I was, I think when I was pregnant with Lulu, I stopped, but pretty much solidly. So you do, you're supposed to do 2 20-minute sessions a day, although I really struggle to do that.
I've learned TM, and that's 2 20-minute, which is kind of the father of me.
Do you do it?
When I do, it's remarkable. Like it literally is the difference that makes the difference. And even for healing. So if you've ever had a sickness or surgery, or even post, like when I was in hospital with Lily and I had 7 weeks in hospital with placenta previa, and then I came out and I had, scarring and muscle atrophy because I hadn't walked for, 2 months.
Oh my goodness.
The meditation was the only thing I did that made a massive difference to my cellular health and my recovery. It was remarkable. And I've had 2 nose jobs, one when I was 18 and one a revision when I was 25. And the only thing that I did for aftercare was TM meditation, and I didn't bruise.
Wow.
My recovery.
I didn't know you were a TM meditator. Wow. That's so interesting.
But I really.
But why don't you do it every day now if you know the effects?
No, but this is the same as like, why do we eat sugar when we know what the effects are? Why do we drink too much wine when we know what the effects are? The human nature.
I know, you're right.
The human condition.
It's just hard.
It's naughty. So tell me about. So you do your meditation, and what benefits have you seen from it?
Lately, it's really helped me through this lockdown period. It's just kept my head a lot better than it was. Like last year during lockdown, I didn't do it, and it was a very different experience. So having that, and I've been journaling, which I always I thought I journaled because I've had a journal all my life, but that wasn't like journaling in this sense. It was just writing down, like when I got angry or stressed out, I would write, right? But I wasn't actually doing setting aside a specific amount of time every day. Someone sent me this 5-minute journal, and it's just got a page a day, and it's got 3 things you're grateful for in the morning, 3 things that would make today amazing, and then at the end of the day you do 3 amazing things that happened and something you do differently. So it holds you accountable, and it just sets you up. So 5 minutes in the morning after I meditate, and then 5 minutes before I go to bed. And it's honestly, for mindset, it's made huge difference. That, and then just certain exercise stuff like exercising outdoors. I know that's really obvious and simple, but we've just moved close to the beach, which I just can't believe it took me until I'm 40 years old to move closer to the beach. It's just such a game changer. Like, I just feel so good. We can see a speck of the ocean from our bedroom window. So I open up the windows in the morning and I look at the ocean, and getting out there and walking out in nature, and what was the other thing that I've been doing? Oh, I've been doing Kaya workouts.
Yes, I did them too. She's been so good.
Oh my gosh, they're amazing. She's so good.
She really is so good.
I really recommended that. That helped my head as well, just mindset as well during lockdown. So I think definitely your mindset is everything. And that kind of, I think that will always affect the way you look and the way you hold yourself, and, the way you interact with people. And that's definitely part of beauty.
In your time as, beauty editor of Vogue, founder of Beauticate, again, we meet a lot of experts, we meet a lot of celebrities, we meet a lot of inspirational people. Is there anyone or any people that you've met in your journey that you've really been inspired by, and you've gone, I'll have what she's having, or I'll have what he's having?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, there's always people that you come across. I mean, even Elle Macpherson the other day on her launch for her new skin elixir, I was just like, oh my God, I need to get, what's she doing? She was doing some like chi machine. I was like, I need a chi machine. I'm very influenced by gorgeous people all the time. I think the Michael Mosley doco was, Eat Fast, Live Longer. I was really impacted by, because he's very clever. There's people all the time. Again, the book that I'm reading, we are exposed to so many of these amazing experts, aren't we?
Let's talk about skincare and beauty. I know that you consulted for a skincare brand, and again, you're exposed to so many different brands. Tell me what your faithful ritual looks like, and then maybe where you kind of peak up or simplify?
Yeah, sure. So I'm always using cosmeceutical active, skincare where possible, but then I'm always flirting with other brands because that's my job. At the moment, I'm using Rationale again.
That's a
I've
good
been on
brand.
that for years.
Beautiful Richard Parker. I just interviewed
yes,
the other day. He's such an inspiration.
yes. Yeah, he showed me the products before they launched, actually, years ago when I was at Vogue. And I was transfixed by his knowledge and he's done amazing things with that brand. So back on Rationale, but I did the course of The Secret skincare.
I'm doing The Secret now. I'm 4 days
it's really
in.
good. Okay. Have you had any irritation, or have you been okay?
No, because I use such hardcore vitamin A. I use vitamin A every night. I use vitamin C. I use actives. I'm devoted to actives. So I'm excited.
Oh, good. I'll be looking forward to hearing what you think. I had a really good experience too. I was really impressed with it. It's kind of, I don't think you're meant to go ongoing. Well, you're meant to change up. They have quite an intense cream, and then you go back to you take a break from that. So I'm on my break, so I thought I'll go and use something else. I'm gonna try that biomimetic skin DNA. The skin DNA where you get your genetic testing. So I've got to try that. I've got so many things on my table. I'm using Drunk Elephant serum at the moment. That's beautiful.
I'm going to wrap it up by asking you, from all the things that you've seen and all the places you've been, if there was one perfect, treatment or product, what would it be to you? What's the futuristic thing you're dreaming of?
Oh gosh, that's such a good question. I think the DNA, I think there's a lot in DNA longevity medicine, something around, getting your genes tested and then really tailoring products to your individual body and how you're going to age. I think that's a really exciting way that things are going. And also towards, illness and disease management and that kind of thing. So I think that's super exciting, and I'll be watching that space closely.